So Patriots, it's great seeing all of you. We're back with another show here, folks. So if you could support us by hitting that like button, it really does help. It's not one of those things that's a waste of time. It does support getting our videos out there to new viewers who haven't seen our content or our channel. So hit that like and subscribe button. It'd be greatly appreciated. Now, there's still these drones flying around. And now some of them are just airplanes and people can't tell the difference. How do I know that? Because I'm seeing cell phone video of people going, there's a drone. And it's like, that's clearly as day a plane that's just going to land at the nearby airport. So we got Trump giving us some updates here on the drone mystery. And not only do presidents still get intelligence after they're done being president, this is a very common thing. It happened with Bush Sr., Bush Jr., Clinton, all those things. They still get information. They're allowed to read the documents, but he's also being briefed as the president-elect. And he gives you a little bit of a, I don't want to say a wink and a nod, but he did confirm that the United States government, specifically our military, knows what these things are. So here he is.
Thank you. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Can you comment on the drones that are flying around New Jersey and ports? It seems like the American people have a big disconnect.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense. I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it. Something strange is going on. For some reason, they don't want to tell the people, and they should, because the people are really, I mean, they happen to be over Bedminster.
Will you
Want to
shoot
know
them
the
down?
truth. They're very close to Bedminster. I think maybe I won't spend the weekend in Bedminster. I've decided to cancel my trip.
Have you received an intelligence briefing on the drones?
I don't want to comment on that.
Have you been
Do you have any reason to think they're a threat?
There you go. There, look at the sharks, man. Look at the vultures. Now, look, he's being briefed on this stuff, and he told everybody we know what these things are. And he goes, I don't know why Joe's not telling all of you. And I would imagine, I'm hoping that if there was a lost nuke, that he would say something, or maybe on these briefings, they're going, look, if we tell everybody that there's a lost nuclear warhead in New Jersey or on the East Coast or some sort of malicious biologic that could be let loose into the water stream and kill a bunch of people, there's gonna be mass hysteria, Mr. President, and you're not gonna see anything like this before. It's better just to hold out and see if we can find it. Who knows? But we can guarantee that our military from Donald Trump knows what these are, where they're coming from. They're most likely ours, and for some reason Joey wants to hold out and he doesn't want to say anything. Now, all you're doing here as a government and as the executive branch is allowing people to theorize what it may or may not be, which just creates more problems, because the more stuff you want to sit there and hide from us, the less likely we're to believe in you, and the more likely we're going to believe those kind of crazy theories that are out there. Folks, even the theory that I gave with the nuke out there is crazy. Even I admit that one. There's people, no offense to the Patriots in the chat, some people are saying, look, there's vials that were taken full of these viruses that they're going to drop in the water. It's a crazy theory. Is it all plausible? Yes. That's also crazy that it's all plausible. Bonkers stuff. So if you missed yesterday's episode, there was a guy that went viral from Joe Rogan, who is a contractor for the military, I believe, but also does drones, and saying that he believes it's trying to sniff out radiation. And when you're trying to sniff out radiation, well, nuclear warheads let off radiation. So we're going to see and keep you updated on all of that. But if you want to know mostly what the drones could be used for, it's probably Chris Christie getting a little bit of Mickey D's delivered to him. So that also could be what it is. And they don't want to be mean, you know, maybe they're going to do some sort of lawsuit on Joey or Trump or everybody. Who the heck knows? So there you go. That's Chris Christie for you. Good morning, folks. I see in the chat. Now, we also have the White House commenting on this, specifically John Kirby. And John Kirby says, drones flying over the country are lawful. Nothing indicates a public safety risk, says top White House official, which is John Kirby here. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy queued up for all of you. They always like to show an ad beforehand, and well, we're not going to give them the plug they deserve.
Definitely not a consumer. I know what we pay for our drones, and we can't afford what's up in the sky in New Jersey right now. These are large devices that are in the sky. And of course, one of the problems we have is to differentiate what's real and what's not real.
That's the Ocean County sheriff in New Jersey talking about the situation in the sky. Joining us now to talk about these mysterious drones flying over parts of the U.S., White House National Security Communications Advisor, retired Admiral John Kirby. John, thanks for being here. You hear all of these officials. You've heard a lot of concern, a lot of coverage. Where are you tonight on this?
As we look at the information we've got, Brett, and we've now examined some 5,000 different sightings, we've added detection capabilities, additional observers. As you and I stand here today, to date, our assessment is that this is lawful, legal, commercial, hobbyist, and even law enforcement aircraft activity. Some of it's manned, some of it's unmanned. We absolutely acknowledge that a lot of these are probably drones, but they're flying legally. And it is legal to fly drones in non-restricted airspace as long as you're registered with the FAA. And there's thousands and thousands of these kinds of flights every single day. I think there's more than 1 million drones that are registered with the FAA just in the United States alone.
But this is different, it seems. These are bigger. They're 6 feet in diameter, a lot of them. There was a reporter the other day that saw 50 coming from the coast at one, pack. I know when you first came out, you said that most of these are manned. Can you concede that maybe most of these are not manned?
Well, I said was at the time, and this was Thursday, when we were not as informed as we are today based on the resources we have applied to the problem set. I said many of the reported sightings we believe to be manned aircraft. That was true when we said it on Thursday. We still believe, Brett, that some of these are, in fact, manned aircraft. I couldn't give you a breakdown of what percentage, but we do believe that still some of these sightings are in fact manned aircraft. We also acknowledge that a lot of them are unmanned aircraft. But again, our assessment to date, given all the work that we've done, the FBI, state and local officials, that these are legal and lawful drones flying for the common good.
Okay, the Homeland Security Secretary said over the weekend that right now they don't have any foreign involvement, criminal activity. We don't see them as a national security concern. How can you get to that point? How can you get to that conclusion with what you're seeing?
Because we've done the analysis. We've done the detection and the analysis. We've corroborated the sightings. And in every case that we have examined to date, we have seen nothing that indicates a public safety risk. There are drones flying over the skies of the United States every single night, every single day, and we've seen nothing in and around New Jersey that should give the people on the ground there concerns for their safety for this activity. And we've seen nothing, working with the Department of Defense as well, that indicates a foreign adversary actor involved or any kind of pernicious national security threat. Now, there have been some drone sightings, I think, as you know, over some military bases. We're obviously looking at that. That is a different category, and DOD has different authorities to deal with that. But again, we've also seen no disruption of operations at our bases in New Jersey either from any of this.
Okay, here's the president-elect today.
They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense.
Let's see what he has to say about this.
What's your answer to that?
Well, I think it goes back to the first question you asked me, Brett. I mean, we have made an assessment based on the work we've done thus far, and our assessment is that this is lawful and legal activity, whether it's manned or unmanned. Again, we see no indication of a national security or public safety risk.
Okay, but there are so many of them, John.
Assessment.
There are so many of them, John. If this was happening over Delaware, Rehoboth Beach, would you be a little bit more concerned? I mean, I guess the people of New Jersey wonder why it took so long to get to the point you are now. And if you see all of this, doesn't a local authority need the authority to be able to deal with it? Is it something Congress has to pass? Because they want to say, I don't want a 6-foot wide diameter refrigerator flying over my house and falling on my roof.
That's a great question, and I'm glad you asked it, Brett, because we absolutely do want to see congressional action. The Biden administration proposed legislation for counter UAS authorities, additional authorities, to close some of the gaps and seams that you're talking about, not only between our own agencies here in the federal government, but the gaps that exist between us and state and local authorities. We absolutely want to see that legislation, and President Biden's calling for a bipartisan task force on Capitol Hill to do exactly that, to try to drive some legislative remedies. I think everybody, and I think we all understand this, Brett. I mean, we're in a new ecosystem in terms of unmanned aircraft in this country. Again, all legal and lawful and doing the right thing for the public good, but it's a brand new ecosystem. There are more systems flying, more purposes over more cities than ever before.
Why does he keep saying for the public good?
And the authorities and the gaps and seams that those authorities don't give us have not kept up with that ecosystem, and so we want to see that driving forward.
All right, last thing. You don't see any linkage between the number of, that this is all tied together in one thing. You think these are all different elements and different kinds of drones, not with one company, not with the military, not with the DOE, Department of Energy. You don't say that they're looking for some nuclear material. You say these are all different flying objects, some of them manned, some not.
Our assessment to date is that, Brett, that this is a collection of law enforcement, hobbyists, commercial drones, and of course civil aviation aircraft that have caused all these sightings. And it's not attributable to an actor for a purpose. And again, I want to stress to your viewers, we don't see anything that indicates a national security or a public safety threat. The last thing I'll say, Brett, and I appreciate the time you're giving me, is this is an ongoing investigation. We're still working our way through this. Sightings continue to come in.
All right, whatever, John. Whatever. The reason why I wanted to listen to the whole thing was because I want to hear the way he's talking, his lingo, for the public good. Well, it's lawful. They have a right to do it. Well, yeah, but isn't it also lawful for the United States government to be flying drones as long as they have the correct, indicators that it is in fact like a drone or a plane, right? With the lights and the blinkers, all those things. So, I don't know what to believe, but when Donald Trump says something weird is going on and he's being briefed, and then he follows up going, look, they know what these things are. They're just not willing to tell you. Well, then what's that all about? You know what I mean? So, look, I'm more inclined to believe Donald Trump, not just because I voted for him 3 times, by the way, but because John Kirby and the Biden administration have lied so many times to my face. I stopped keeping count actually 2 years ago. I stopped keeping count after the classified documents briefing with John Kirby, Karine Jean-Pierre, Jake Sullivan, Ian Sams, everybody. And they lied to us for an entire week straight to our face and got called out for it. And we counted minimum 4 times. There's a possible 5th that would have been lied to our face if you did a little bit more digging. I mean, the list goes on, right? The Russia hoax, the Hunter Biden laptop. Like, that's the problem when your government lies to you so many times. We're less likely to believe them and our fellow countrymen when I say, oh, there's 50 drones flying in, Peg. Oh, my God, look at them all. I'm probably more inclined to believe that dude than John Kirby, which is kind of sad because I don't really want to believe that there's 50 drones coming from freaking nowhere out of the ocean into our homeland. But knowing what Joey's doing on a sabotage to this country, maybe there is something going on.